If the opponent quits after the coin toss, the game should count as a win. Diamond 5 got the rank up game. Coin toss, so when the opponent quits, the match never starts and I'm back to square one in diamond rank. Wait, is that how that works? I don't think that's how that works. How do you think solo mode could be made better? Geez, solo mode. Does anyone want solo mode to be a thing in Master Duel? I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. On the one hand, I feel like all of the time, effort, and energy and resources put into solo mode would be better put to something like a tournament mode, old school formats, ranked games for Legacy, like GOAT and Edison. Those could be so much more enjoyable experiences, I think, in the game in terms of efficiency of allocating resources as a, company and all that kind of stuff. On the other hand, I would love a solo experience in Yu-Gi-Oh! I love all of the old school games, Tag Force and all that kind of stuff. But that's like a massive undertaking, right? Like you're asking for essentially an entire new video game. I don't know how they can make solo modes like more fun in Master Duel without essentially, making a whole new game. Because I feel like any slight improvement to solo mode like isn't enough, right? Like what do you really get from solo mode that would make it like fun and something you would want to log in for? I feel like it would have to essentially just be an entire game in and of itself, and yeah, it just doesn't offer you that. A test learn combo function. I mean, that's pretty helpful, to be fair. Like, you can maybe test your do some test hands with a deck and stuff, but if you care that much about learning and testing your deck, you could just play on, like, yugioh Pro or Dueling Book and open a solo room and do a test hand in there if you really, really want to. It'd be nice to have it in game, but it's not like it's not possible. If there was porn, okay, well, yeah, I guess if there was sexy images of Labyrinth monsters, I too would play solo mode. Anyway, it definitely just needs better AI, but I wouldn't complain if they made an actual competitive challenge mode. Currently, if you put out a single visible summon negate, the AI will straight up not play. That's very funny. So, I don't know, I've honestly considered multiple times to do like a solo mode, video challenge in Master Duel, right? Where you just go through solo mode. But I don't really know what you can do in solo mode that would be interesting. YouTube content, right? Like, do you really want to watch someone play solo mode with bad decks? One loss equals defeat or something? Speedrun. Oh, I think speedrun content is so niche and specific. I don't really know if it'd be like enjoyable to watch, to be honest with you. Have you seen Hard Leg's Challenger? Well, there you go. Hard Leg does challenges, apparently. I've never even heard of it. Definitely needs better AI. Have you seen the decks they make you play? Ninja Karakuri. I couldn't begin to imagine a deck with less synergy. Or just Geargia Digital Bug. What the fuck do they think new players garner from this? Oh, these decks are hot garbage. So, the solo mode difficulty curve boils down to, we're going to make your deck as unplayably garbage and inhumanly non-functioning so that to artificially make the game harder. Because, yeah, I guess if you play Ninja Karakuri, you're going to struggle, even against the donkey AI that, like, doesn't know how to correctly perform a Link Summon. So, yeah, that is one way to make it harder. If you guys remember when the Dark Magician solo mode gate or something came out, it was... other than the fact that they just Google translated it into Dark Spellion for us. My God, Konami just doesn't have a QA team. It was actually quite difficult to do those because the opponent was just summoning out, like, Dark Magicians and banishing a card every turn. And your deck was like this, I think it was like this World Chalice anti-synergistic, like, crawler thing that didn't really work. Like, I don't even remember the deck they gave you, but it wasn't good. Like, it didn't, like... function. There was no win condition. And that's how they made it quote unquote difficult, was to just give you like really, really bad decks, which I don't know if that's a fun type of challenge. It is challenging, but I don't know if that's a fun way to engage challenge. That's where the challenge mode come in. I wouldn't want all the decks to be high-end builds because solo is meant to introduce new players to mechanics, but we definitely need something to practice our own meta decks against. At the very least, we need a deck that has the full range of hand traps to play against. There's something the legacy of the Duelist games do well. The single-player mode is a series of duels separated by TV show arcs, and each new arc introduces a new summoning mechanic. I've never played Legacy the Duelist. From my understanding, it's like... just way too much, right? Like, you get introduced into all the new mechanics, you play through the arcs of the anime, and then you just do that repeat for like 100 games. I don't know. That doesn't sound super exciting. Legacy of the Duels was peak, especially the online. Imagine playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, but you're playing against an AI. Like, hello? You're playing, it's like, Legacy of Duels is solo mode, essentially. You're just doing solo mode for, like, tens of hours of gameplay. But, like, not in a fun way. Couldn't agree more. A brand new player with no prior knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! Would only benefit from learning about hand traps super early because the current model was them just playing jank and solo. They built something that hits ladder and gets stomped because they're being hand trapped into hell, and solo mode barely scratches the surface on them as it leads to further frustration because solo mode sets an expectation. But then reality is you need those hand traps to even the playing field. Yeah, I mean, you are set up to completely fail in Master Duel if you do solo mode as a new player. Like, it's not going to teach you anything. I mean, it'll teach you some mechanics, but you're not going to be engaged in the meta in any shape or form. No one ever played the Game Boy games. Surely no fond memories of those. Times change, old man. I don't think if you were to make a game like that today, it would succeed. But, you know, that's a different hot take, I suppose. AI that can play decks given by the player at a decent level. A way better tutorial for newbies and returners. Also, just more levels. Quantity. Like, more solo modes. Is that really what we're missing? The orb system to unlock gates is stupid and meaningless. They should unlock each gate as you win the previous duel. They need to keep it up to date. I know it's hard work, but if we had solo modes of Ryziel and Malice with lesser versions that climb the power, it would act as a teaching guide as well as give some gems or cosmetics. I feel like a solo mode for every new archetype just makes a lot of sense, right? It can't be that hard to make, right? From like a resource and money perspective, like it can't be that difficult. You literally just change the deck list, change the name of the player, and like that's pretty much it. Like, you know, you're kind of working off of a template already. It doesn't feel like it would be too much effort. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I feel like solo mode is a lost cause. I don't really know what they can do to solo mode short of just making an entire new video game for Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I would love, by the way. New Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game would be awesome. But it just feels like this is a lost cause. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know if there's anything you can do from here to work off of to make it actually enjoyable or engaging enough that you could get like thousands of people playing this daily and actually with an invested interest in playing solo mode. Short of just making a new game. So, yeah. I don't know, that's how I feel.